Stay savage, your boy Shane Mentro was poppin' though. So, a lot of you guys should know already that most of the topics that we talk about in our videos usually come from the comment section. So I read a lot of the comments, that's why I ask you for your recommendations and stuff like that. In terms of fact videos, all type of stuff. Whenever you put something in the comment section, it usually gets back to me and I give you guys my personal thoughts and my personal opinions, my feedback, and we discuss it, we break it down, we talk about how we feel about it, and I ask you guys for your opinions. So basically I was looking around the comment section, you know, like always, just reading through comments, looking at some of the discussion, and I had read a particular question. Now this made me triggered to something else. It wasn't necessarily the question exactly asked, but it was saying, what would you do if Himawari died? Or do you think Himawari would be like the first person killed off, and that would be the person that gave Boruto his eyes or some shit like that? So it got me into thinking about like a whole bunch of shit in terms of the Boruto characters, you know, characters that we develop and that die. So we're gonna talk about that a little bit. We're gonna talk about who we expect to live and who we expect to die throughout the series, and you know, give our personal thoughts and personal opinions on that.
Whipping all this dope up in the trap house. We fuck all you bitches at the trap house. I can't trust you, I can't give you real address. I can't trust you, I can't give you real address. It don't mean that be like Jerry Stacker. I might fall in love with my trap house.
Alright, so to address the question about do you think Himawari will die and pass her eyes off to Boruto? Well, when Kishimoto originally created not Naruto, but Boruto, basically Boruto the Naruto movie, he intended for Boruto and Himawari both to have the Byakugan when they were first aired, when they first were seen in the show. He intended for both of them to have it, but basically he forgot to give it to them, so he made it where they can activate it and cut it off, almost if it's a Sharingan, you know, like Sasuke can cut his Sharingan on, or he can cut it off depending on his mood. I know his Rinnegan stays on all the time, that's why he usually keeps his eye covered up, but like for Boruto and Himawari, they have the ability to cut their the Byakugan on and off. So that's something that's very rare. You don't see a lot of Hyuga clan people that have the ability to cut it on and off at will. So that's something I thought was pretty dope. So Kishimoto originally wanted both of them to have it. He just said he forgot. That was basically in an interview he had a while back with Shonen. And now, like, looking at it, it's pretty interesting to see Himawari, right? I don't think she will die, but I do think she will have like some type of role like Neji in terms of like excelling. I feel like Boruto is going to be training. Boruto is going to be really, really strong, and eventually when she starts to join the Ninja Academy, almost like after Boruto becomes a Genin, she's going to join the Ninja Academy. She's going to excel really fast. She might even pull like an Itachi, like a baby Itachi from the Uzumaki clan, and she's going to start excelling at a rapid rate. Boruto may get jealous and something to that line, some extent, but I do not think Himawari will die, because if you see her early on, she is really shown to be really strong, especially when she's in her emotional state. That's something we see from a lot of Sharingan users. When you're emotional, you know, your powers usually get stronger, or you gain a new level to your power. But for her, when she's in her emotional state, when her bear was ripped up in half, she went into straight attack mode, you know. And then it was like almost if she was robotic, like she was a computer, because she was like locked on. And I'm just like, wait, you're human, what the fuck? And then she just went straight blank, and she didn't even realize what she did. It was just kind of just pure moment and pure rage, just from the toy being ripped. So that's something I do see her like becoming like some type of prodigy, her excelling rather quickly, and maybe even progressing a little bit faster than Boruto, and that could push Boruto to leave the village, or push Boruto to seek out more power or something like that. But I do not see Himawari dying. However, we have a lot of different characters with a lot of uniqueness. Honestly, I don't really see anybody dying early on. I feel like it'll be probably in like the second half of Boruto, basically when Kawaki and Boruto are fighting. That's when we're gonna start seeing like different ninjas start dying and shit like that. And I feel like it's only gonna be like one person off of like Boruto's generation, as in like, you know how they got the Elite 11, whatever they call it the Elite 12 or some shit like that. I feel like it's only gonna be one person, because we didn't really see too many people from the original cast die. All we saw was Neji die, and that's kind of fucked up. Now that I think about it, I said I didn't want Himawari to die, but Himawari could be the one that dies, but she's not a part of Boruto's like class and grade and shit like that, because she's still young. But by her being the only like Byakugan user outside of Boruto that's in that like category, you know, you can see it. I mean, there's Hanabi, but wouldn't Hanabi be like a teacher at this point, because she's a lot older than everybody else, and on top of her being an auntie. But other than that, I don't really see like too many people like passing away. Maybe we know for a fact like there's some speculation behind Naruto Sasuke Maybe something happens to Sasuke, which caused Sarada to get AMS. Maybe something emotional happens to someone that's close to Sarada or something like that. But maybe Sakura could die. You know, that'd probably be the best thing I would want to happen for Boruto. To be honest, Sakura just get. I mean, it's highly unlikely because she was the main heroine of the series. So that's something I don't really see happening. But as far as just like character development and stuff like that, people that I want to see progress, we're going to see Boruto progress. He's the main character, obviously. We're going to see Sarada progress because she's the previous main character's best friend, and pretty much Sasuke was like a main character of Naruto too. So like those two are going to be a giving. We know we're going to get a lot of backstory from Mitsuki. Maybe he goes like corrupt. Maybe his programming gets fucked up. You know, maybe they have to rewire him. Maybe he goes like on a berserk rampage and attack the village, or maybe he just completely loses his shit. But at this point, Mitsuki doesn't seem evil. He does give off a bit of a side vibe, but honestly, if you just read through the story and you read through the manga, you see Mitsuki is very genuine. He's very genuine. He's very happy. It's not like he's like robotic. He's not emotionless as Sai was, because you know, you see Sai, you have him like kind of in the background, which was weird. But I see like what Kishimoto did. He tried to create the original like Sage, the original signing basically, because we got Jiraiya, which is Boruto, which was Naruto. Then we have Mitsuki, which is Orochimaru, which you can see like which was Sasuke, but at the same time he was Sai, because Sai was pale and Orochimaru was pale. So I see why like Sai and Sasuke rotated out that, because you know Orochimaru, he was weird with his emotions, and then they like put Sai in basically being the same as Orochimaru, but they had Sasuke who wanted power and he did whatever he wanted to get that power, so he left the village, which was like Orochimaru. So Sai and Sasuke are pretty much like hand in hand. Orochimaru, if you put those two together, you make Orochimaru, and that's pretty much Mitsuki. And then Sarada, which is Tsunade or Sakura, you know, we can pretty much see that, but with a little bit more pizzazz, with a little bit more talent, because she has a Sharingan. Like, you can't say she's not gonna be more talented than Sakura or Tsunade. She has a Sharingan. She might even be more talented than her father, because early on, you know, she's doing some beast that shit. But as a whole, I see the group splitting up. I do see the group splitting up. It's just one thing about like people dying. I don't really know like. What would be a shocker for me, for real, would be if Konohama Sensei died, like, you know, Boruto and them teachers. But usually something never happens to the teachers, because if we look at Kakashi, he lost his Sharingan, you know, he got double Sharingan, and he got both his eyes back after both his eyes were taken from him. But you don't really see, like Naruto's main teachers die, except for Jiraiya. Jiraiya was, like, the only person that really died, and he went on, like, a serious mission. And there's nobody that I can see that'll really, like, take the place of, Jiraiya, unless it'll be Sasuke for Boruto, like, outside of the Leaf, like, outside of, like, the Leaf original squad, like, you know, Konohama being the sensei, we have Sasuke that's his sensei, that's kind of on the side, kind of like how Jiraiya was. You know, he would always leave and then come back, and when he came back, he always teach Naruto something, and eventually he took Naruto on a journey. So we might see Sasuke and Boruto go on a journey together to explore, like, the outside world, or something like that, and eventually a big threat might come up, and Sasuke might go wandering off, trying to decode some shit, or figuring out some shit kind of similar to Jiraiya, and then we might have something that happens to Sasuke, you know, where it might get back to Sarada. She might flip shit because she never really had this close connection with her father. Like, she knows her father through a lot of people talking, and she knows a lot about her father, but she doesn't know him as a whole. So I can see Sasuke, like, getting written off and dying eventually. I do know, like, the same thing is speculated for Naruto, because in the chapter it was like Kawaki was like, oh, I'm gonna bring you to see the 7. You're gonna see the 7 soon enough. But that's like subjective. Like, right now it could be either way, because right now it could be, I'm gonna take you and hold you captive so you can beat the 7th, or I can kill you and you can go meet the 7th. You know, it could be taken a lot of different ways. And at this point, you know, in Naruto, we do see Naruto keeping it where, you know, the main character can't necessarily die, because the anime is called Boruto, Next Generation Naruto, and for them to completely kill off Naruto, that would be completely crazy. So for them to do that, I'd probably be like astonished, and I'll probably be shocked. But as of right now, I see them kind of, you know, writing some crazy shit back in there where Naruto comes back, you know, Boruto still with Naruto. And honestly, I don't really see what could have possibly happened to Sarada, which can make her get her MSS, her MS, I say MSS, her MS, like her Mangekyo Sharingan, if you guys don't know what MS means. But like, the only thing I could possibly see happen is like something happening to Sasuke or Sakura, because, you know, her and Boruto really have a close connection, and I don't really see her and Boruto fighting each other. And for his, like, there's a lot of different other questions in the comment section that I want to address, but I want to keep them for separate videos, and I almost slipped up and like spoke about it. But just to see those two, I don't really think those two will fight, because I do know, like, there was times of peace for the Ashura and the Indra. You know, that's the reincarnations of, like, you know, the reincarnations of the Hagoromo and Hagoromo's sons, basically, Ashura and Indra. So there were times of peace where they worked together. So if they like are the Indras and the Ashuras of like that generation, you know, you'll see it. But like I want to go in more detail about that in a different video. But you know, they worked together in peace. So I don't really see like them two getting into arguments or fighting about something. They may have disagreements in terms of village, in terms of Boruto's training, in terms of what Boruto does as a child, as a ninja. So that might be that. But as far as like them two like brawling out as a full-on fight, I don't see Sarada trying to stop him. Maybe Mitsuki try to stop Boruto or leave him in the village or something like that, or he'll try to follow him and go with him because Orochimaru wanted him to stick close to Boruto because he believed like if he was close to Naruto and Naruto's son, he would find his light and then shit like that, something like a son or whatever. So I don't really see too many people dying right now, but as of right now, we know Naruto, Sasuke, they're up in the air. You know, they could possibly die, they could possibly come back. We don't really know. I don't see nothing happen to Konohamaru Sensei, but like the one thing I did mention that I think might be the most accurate of them all is Sasuke becoming Boruto's teacher that leaves and come back, kind of like Jiraiya was with Naruto, and then like Sasuke taking on this really hard mission and something happening to him, and that could send Naruto in this, like a pit of rage, and that could cause him to go out, and then by him acting rash, it could cause him to die as well. So that could be like the chain of events that could happen in the future. But as of right now, I don't really know. I'm kind of nervous to see who would pass away in Boruto. So let me know who you think is gonna live from like the Boruto generation, out of the kids, out of the adults, whoever you pick. Just let me know in the comment section. I will definitely be reading those. And with that being said, my name is Shino Ben Churro. Stay true and sterile. Hope you guys have a blessed day, and until next time, see you guys later. Bye.